Welcome to From the Den podcast, providing Bears and NFL fans alike with compelling news, discussion, and debate. I'm your co-host Benjamin, joined alongside my dear friend and co-host Oren.
Hey Benjamin, let's get right into it. As always, kickoff starts now.
The Bears' defensive line, one of the players who's most overshadowed is Eddie Goldman. So how good do you think Eddie Goldman really is? Do you think he's a star? Do you think he's average? Do you think he's overrated, underrated? And what role do you think he adds to this team?
I think that among good Bears fans, or knowledgeable Bears fans especially, he isn't over or underrated. He's very well rated. People who study or just acknowledge Eddie Goldman's talent understand how crucial he is on this team, but also don't overrate him and try to compare him to Khalil Mack. Personally, I think that Eddie Goldman is a pivotal, crucial part of this Bears defensive line, but I'm not going to compare him, like I said, to Khalil Mack or anything like that, because his role is, he's a big guy, he's a nose tackle, so his role is basically to keep defenders away from other players so that he himself, or so that those other players can record sacks while the other players are coming to him. That's why he isn't going to record stats like Khalil Mack. I've said his name 5 times now, or even Akeem Hicks would. But he does have such a pivotal role. So I think among the general NFL or less knowledgeable Bears fans, people might not recognize his true role just by looking at his stats alone. But among knowledgeable Bears fans, he is recognized, and I think that he is rated well.
And I have to agree. And I think even among Bears fans who are knowledgeable, they still don't fully appreciate the dominance of Eddie Goldman, because what he does is not only such a hard job, but you just need to be very good at your job, and you also need to be able to take on 3 blockers and still succeed, which is a very hard thing to do. And I believe that Eddie Goldman, he's a very good player, and he could play defensive end or defensive tackle and be more successful.
Did he play defensive end or tackle in college or high school, or was he always a nose tackle?
I think he's been moved around a bit, but him playing a nose tackle is best because he's very, very good at being able to attract a lot of attention to him, which makes the whole defense so much better. For example, Akeem Hicks, it's very rare that Eddie Goldman's goal is to be double teamed on defense, so that Akeem Hicks has a one-on-one and Khalil Mack has a one-on-one.
Yeah, exactly.
And next year, Robert Quinn has a one-on-one. So his job might be the most pivotal out of all the defensive linemen or linebackers who rush the passer. And I think that when he doesn't play, not only is there an element of a hole in the run game, which makes the whole Bears defense, I would say the Bears the Bears' biggest strength on defense is stopping the run. And I think when they're able to stop the run, that's when they're the most dominant. When you name probably the best Bears defensive game in the past 2 years, you could say the Rams game, which they allowed nothing to Gurley. You could say the Vikings game week 10, so they allowed nothing to Dalvin Cook. When they play good running backs and they shut them down, that's when they're able to create defensive dominance. And that all stems from Eddie Goldman.
Yeah. So I guess both of us agree that Eddie Goldman is a pivotal part of the Bears defensive line. Hopefully all you guys are knowledgeable Bears fans, or just all Bears fans can recognize Eddie Goldman's role, despite that his stats don't always show it, because of what we said, how he's taking away offensive linemen for other players. So basically, he does the dirty work. That's his main job.
If you enjoyed this episode of From the Den, please remember to subscribe, comment, and like this video.
Or if you're a Packers fan, remember to dislike and leave a nasty comment. Click the links on the screen to access additional content.